Hello friends. So today's topic is phrase. So we will see the definition of phrase, the difference between the phrase and a sentence, and then we will learn the types of phrase like noun phrase, what is adjective phrase, what is adverb phrase. So let's begin. So what is phrase? So students, we all know phrase is a group of words. Just like sentence is a group of words, phrase is also a group of words. But there is a difference between a sentence and a phrase. No doubt sentence is a group of words, but it gives a complete meaning, it gives a sense. But phrase, in the case of phrase, there is no complete meaning, there is no complete sense. It gives meaning, but half meaning. So this is the basic difference between a sentence and a phrase. We can say that phrase is a part of a sentence. For example, a tall building. So this is a phrase because it is giving half meaning, not a complete meaning. In the morning. Again, this is a phrase because it is not giving complete sense. With great care, this is an example of phrase. So we can say that phrase is a group of words that works together to give meaning but does not have a subject verb combination, so it cannot make a complete sense. So phrase never gives a complete sense like sentence. Let us see the difference between sentence and a phrase. A sentence gives us complete sense or thought, whereas phrase, it does not give us complete sense. A sentence have a subject, verb and an object, whereas phrase does not have a subject or a verb of its own. Example of sentence can be like this: the book is on the table. This is a group of words giving a complete sentence, complete sense. So this is an example of sentence. But if I take on the table only this part, so this is a phrase, not a complete sentence because it is not giving a complete meaning. So now we will see what is noun phrase. As the name suggests, noun, and we all know noun phrase functions like a noun. So all the phrase which will work as a noun, they will be called as noun phrase. So what is the function of noun? We all know noun functions as a subject, sometimes it functions as an object, and sometimes it functions as a complement. So similarly, the noun phrase will also work as a subject in a sentence, as an object in a sentence, as a complement of a sentence. So here are some of the examples for you. So let me make you understand what is noun phrase through these examples. So the very first example is, the tall boy is my brother. So here the underlined part, the tall boy, this is an example of noun phrase because it is acting as a subject of this sentence. I like red car in the showroom. So subject here is I, verb here is like. Then for a sentence, complete sentence, we required object. So in this sentence, second one, red car in the showroom. This is the object of this sentence. Subject we have, then verb also we have like, then the whole underlined part in this sentence is acting as an object. So we can say that red car in the showroom, this is an example of noun phrase. Let us see another example. She became famous singer. So in this sentence, famous singer is an example of noun phrase because we have subject, we have verb became, and after that we need complement. So famous singer is functioning as a complement. So this is an example of noun phrase. A bunch of flowers. So it's clear that here this is subject of this sentence. A bunch of flowers was kept on the table. If you make a question like this, what was kept on the table, you will get answer like a bunch of flowers. So this is a noun phrase because here it is functioning as a subject of this sentence. Similarly, the book on the shelf. The book on the shelf is also an example of noun phrase because here it is functioning as subject of this sentence. So I hope you have understood what is noun phrase. So let's revise it once again. Noun phrase is a group of words that function as a noun. So what is the function of noun phrase? It will function every time as a noun. And what is the function of noun? It will function as a subject, sometimes object or sometimes complement in a sentence. Let us move to the next type of phrase, that is adjective phrase. So we all know adjective. What is the function of adjective? It qualifies a noun or a pronoun. Qualify means it gives quality. It adds extra information to the noun. It gives some special information about the noun. You can say describing words are called adjective. So adjective phrase describes the noun. The same function adjective has. In adjective phrase also you will find the same function adjective performs in the form of adjective phrase. So let us see what is adjective phrase. First see the definition. So an adjective phrase is a group of words. So all the phrases, you know that phrase is a group of words that functions like an adjective and describes a noun or a pronoun. If it is not clear, it will be clear to you through the examples. So see the examples very carefully. Here in the very first example, the boy with curly hair is my friend. So as we know, adjective describes a noun. Similarly, adjective phrase will describe a noun. So in this sentence, the boy with curly hair is my friend. The noun is boy. The noun is boy. In the underlined part, with curly hair. So this is an adjective phrase which is describing the noun boy. So we can call this an adjective phrase. With curly hair is an adjective phrase. Another example for you. She wore a dress. So in this sentence, she wore a dress. Dress is a noun. And for describing dress, we have used adjective phrase made of silk. So made of silk here is an adjective phrase. The next sentence is the story full of suspense kept us awake. So again you can find the noun here in this sentence. Noun is the story. And for describing the story, what type of a story? The story full of suspense. So full of suspense, this is describing the story. And we all know describing words, they are called adjective. And similarly, adjective phrase will describe the noun. So full of suspense here is the adjective phrase. Let's see the another example. The path covered with snow. The path here is noun and covered with snow is describing what type of path. So the path which is covered with snow was slippery. So the covered with snow here is an example of adjective phrase. I met a man short of money. What type of man did I meet? So the man who has no money means lacking of money, short of money. So here short of money is an example of adjective phrase. So I hope you have understood what is adjective phrase, what is noun phrase. Let's move to the next one, adverb phrase. To understand adverb phrase, first you have to understand what is adverb. So we all know adverb. There is a word verb in adverb. So adverb actually is a word that qualifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb. So adverb phrase will function same as adverb. So first see the definition, what is adverb. An adverb phrase is a group of words that functions like an adverb. If it is functioning like an adverb, then obviously it will modify verb. Whereas adjective phrase that modifies a noun. An adverb phrase modifies a verb, another adjective or sometimes another adverb. In other words, we can say adverb phrase will answer questions like when, where, how, or to what extent. For example, here are some sentences for you. He walked in a hurry. So how did he work? You will get answer in a hurry. जल्दीबाजी में काम किया. So in a hurry, this is an example of adverb phrase. We will meet in the evening. So when will we meet? When we will meet? So we will meet in the evening. In the evening, this is an example of adverb phrase. It is referring to time. She looked with great care. So here the verb is look. How did she look? You will get the answer with a great care. So if you are getting the answer of how, this is an example of adverb phrase with great care. They live in the village. So where do they live? Answer you are getting, they live in the village. So in the village, this is an example of, in the village is an example of adverb phrase. The child ran at full speed. How did the child run? Answer you are getting at full speed. So at full speed, this is an example of adverb phrase. So we have seen noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase. Let us revise what we have learned so far. So we have seen that phrase, it's a group of words. It gives meaning but not complete meaning like a sentence. It has half meaning. Similarly, sentence is also a group of words, but it gives a complete sense, complete meaning. A sentence has a subject, verb and object, whereas phrase, it does not have a subject of its own, verb of its own. Then we have seen noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase. So noun phrase, it will always acts like a noun. It will always acts like noun. It will always functions like a noun. Adjective phrase, it will always acts like an adjective, and we know adjective are describing words. Adverb phrase, it will always functions like an adverb, or adverb always qualifies a verb or an adjective. So thank you. I hope you have understood.